All right, let's dive into another Mtel question. This one says, for what values of m will the graphs of y equals mx plus 3 and y equals negative x squared plus 3x plus 2 have no points of intersection? All right, so this one involves having some knowledge of how to graph lines, which is what this equation represents, and how to graph parabolas, which is what this quadratic equation represents. So we have this m in here, which represents the slope in the equation of a line. So that's y equals mx plus b. Hopefully you've seen that before, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. And then this is just the graph of a quadratic equation in standard form. Standard form is going to tell you the y-intercept. So plus 2 is the y-intercept, and then the negative x squared tells us that the parabola is facing down. To give us a better idea of what this parabola looks like, we can figure out the axis of symmetry of a parabola by using the equation x equals negative b over 2a, where the standard form of a parabola looks like y equals ax squared plus bx plus c. So if we look at this equation right here, we can figure out our axis of symmetry by doing x equals our b value, which is 3, that's negative b, over 2 times a, and our a is going to be negative 1 in this equation, which will give us an axis of symmetry of x equals positive 3 over 2 after the negatives cancel. So if we graph that, we know enough about this parabola to kind of give a pretty good idea of what's going on. So we know that our y-intercept is positive 2 because that's our c value in our equation here. And then we know our axis of symmetry is x equals 3 over 2. So I'm going to draw a dotted line right here. So this point is 0, 2. And then right here we've got 3 over 2 as our x value. And our parabola is negative, so it's going to be facing downward, which is going to give it a shape that looks something like this, with the vertex, or highest point of the parabola, falling on our axis of symmetry, the dotted line that I drew there. And now we know we have some line that has a y-intercept of positive 3, and we have to figure out the slope of this line that would make it so that it never touched the parabola. So basically the slope of the line and the slope of the parabola have to be about the same. If I was going to draw a line that never touched this, it would have to be something like this. It would have to be sort of going at the same slope as the parabola around like this area right here. So if we look through our answers, we can kind of get an idea of what that might be. So if m is between -5 and -1, a negative slope is always going to go up and to the left. So that a slope that looked like that would actually go this way and would definitely cross through the parabola. So I can immediately eliminate A from contention. B, a slope of 1 to 5, looks a lot like something like this. A slope of positive 1 to positive 5 is going to be somewhere. It's going to be somewhere that looks like this. A positive slope goes up and to the right, and this looks about right. So I'm going to keep B in mind as a possible answer. C says m is less than -5. Again, if we have a negative slope, we're going to be going up and to the left. So I don't think that's possible because we don't want to go up and to the left, or else we're definitely going to come down through there and cross through the parabola. And then D says m is less than 1 or greater than 5. So m is less than 1 would include a lot of negative numbers, and again, we don't want a negative slope. So I believe that the best answer here is B.